What's up, Freedom Family? On today's video, I want to take a delightful walk down memory lane with you and talk about something I haven't talked about before, not on any of my channels. So we're going to take a look at the first ever comedy video I ever posted. It's called How to Be Ultra Spiritual. I put it up October 5th, 2014, so coming up on 8 years ago. And I'll share with you some, after the video, I'll share with you some behind the scenes, like how that video blew up, how it being pirated and illegally uploaded by other people really worked for me, and I'm super grateful for. Give you a little of the backstory of why I created the video, why I didn't want to create the video, and why I thought it would lead to nowhere. So, but first, what I will say in a preface to the video, a lot of people say, you know, JP, you started off doing comedy, making fun of spirituality, health stuff, things that were always near and dear to me, still are, and now you're completely different. You're doing stuff on politics, freedom. I will say this, yes, how I express the comedy, it is very different. But one thing is not different at all. What I was intending to do with this video, How to Be Ultra Spiritual, was call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of our own ego. And now that's something I do with, you know, human consciousness and authoritarians at a more macro, external level. But fundamentally, I look at what I did then, first few years of my comedy, and then what I do now, and I'm like, nothing's changed. It's just where I call it out is different. So pointing out in this original video, the lies, corruption, and hypocrisy of our own ego, that was because I lived in California for 10 years, been a part of the spiritual world. It's really cool, but there's BS everywhere. And I was starting to realize, both within myself and other people in the community, that people's egos were like hiding behind these noble looking hiding spots in their spiritual life. And the problem with that, and why I wanted to start pointing it out, is when our egotistical nature, which just wants to be significant, and then it can lie, be a hypocrite, it can be corrupt. Why that's dangerous is it goes unchecked. But if we're self-aware, we see our egotistical nature and we can do something about it. We can minimize it. We can put that in the passenger seat rather than have that be what drives the car of our life and our actions. So that's part of what, you know, my work then was, how it was different, but also what it massively has in common with how I do things now. And along the way, I'm going to point out some cringy moments in this video and probably narrate a few of my intentions. So let's take a trip back to October 5th, 2014. I actually filmed this video the day before that, so this is October 4th, 2014. Fun fact, I shot this video in Charleston, South Carolina, where I had just moved to. And the house that you see in this video, where I'm at, that was the first ever house I bought. Fond memories. I love that house. Shut up, JP. Let's watch the video. Good point. You recording?
Yes.
I'm JP Sears. I'm ultra spiritual, and I'm going to teach you how to be ultra spiritual today. First, what you need to understand is being ultra spiritual has nothing to do with actually being spiritual, because no one even knows what that actually is.
A couple things. One, you can notice like the sound, like my S's keep like overly amplifying. It sounds crappy. That's because like I didn't know how to like do microphone settings then. The headband that I have on, which, you know, for the first couple years of my work, that became my calling card. That was just like an afterthought. I already had the camera set up, I had my purple shirt on, had the spiritual garb on the counter. And then my girlfriend at the time, I said to her, I'm like, yes, spiritual people, sometimes they have like headband. Do you have a headband? She said, no. She said, oh, but I have like a scarf. Like might be able to tie that up. So got a scarf and put a couple flowers in it. And that became sort of the part of the character persona for a while, but it almost didn't happen.
Being ultra spiritual means you look spiritual. So let's get started. Practice competitive spirituality. Silently,
Listen to all the S sounds. Horrible sound quality.
Slash passive aggressively, you're going to want to compare how spiritual other people are to yourself. Judging other people to be less spiritual than you makes you a better person than them. And that's exactly what makes you more spiritual than them. Hey, Kevin. Do you see how unconscious that guy is? Jerk. Claim to be you.
Look how young I looked. No gray in my beard. At the time, I would flat iron my hair for videos because I thought it looked cool. Now I look at him like, dude, I looked way more like a woman then. The hell was wrong with me? Anyway, so competitive spirituality, if nothing's more egotistical than that, I don't know what is. And that's one of the big things I saw when I was more immersed in like just the spiritual community, how people would like subtly compare themselves to other people. I'm like, bro, you're being egotistical. And I was doing it. I'm like, this is egotistical. Why doesn't anybody ever talk about how this happens? Maybe I should talk about it.
Using your intuition when you're actually thinking about things. In fact, you're going to want to announce this to people every chance you get, because false intuition isn't true intuition until you get other people to believe that your false claims are actually true. Hey, Deanna, my intuition just told me to give you a call. No, I didn't see that you had called me. Talk about energy. You're going to want to integrate this into all your conversations. It'll seem meaningless to other people because it is, but don't let that stop you though. I love energy. I love chi. I love prana. I love life force. I love auras. I love chakras. It's all vibration. Rebel against dogma.
And at this point, first comedy video, you'll see the script is now on the counter there. I didn't know it was on the counter because I looked at it, put it down, didn't really have the awareness to say, oh, like I should like not have the script in the scene. Didn't even think about it. Amateur. That's good. It's good. Learning process.
Dogmatic religious terminology by dogmatically using spiritual terminology. You'll want to keep your eyes closed extra tight on this one so that you don't see that you're actually still subscribed to the exact same belief system that you're rebelling against, because now you're expressing the same concepts just with new words. Jesus loves you. The universe supports you. I'll pray for you. I'll send you white light. God will provide for you. The universe is abundant. It's all about getting into heaven. It's all about getting back to oneness. Hallelujah. Om. Say the word.
For me, that was pointing out hypocrisy, where a lot of spiritual people would say, dude, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Then you watch their words and it's like, no, you're the same thing. You just call the same thing different things that are the same thing. I loved pointing out the hypocrisies of it all. And I notice, like, when I watch this video, there's a part of me that cringes. Basically, at my performance, like, dude, came across like so boring, like overly monotone, and I love that. I'd look at this and be like, dude, this is a really crappy video. I like the content of it, but I think it was crappily performed. But I love that I allowed myself to do it because I didn't really know how to do it. And funny thing about doing new things, you don't know how to do them until you start doing them. But when you start doing them, you don't know really how to do them. So your future self will always look back and say, like, that wasn't very good. But if you allow yourself to do them, your future self will also say, thank you for doing them. Whatever level I've grown to in the performance of it wouldn't have happened if I was afraid to like be crappy in the beginning. And so I think life advice, you didn't ask. Here's the life advice. When you're looking at doing something new, whether it's a career or hobby or creative pursuit, my number one advice is be okay with being crappy, but keep going. If you're not okay with being crappy, usually then the fear prevents you from even trying it, or you try it, but you're like, that was really crappy. And then you stop trying it. Either way, it's the fear controlling you, but you got to embrace the discomfort. You got to say, yeah, probably be crap. I'll do my best. And I'll keep doing my best, but I'll be crappy. It'll be uncomfortable. But you got to embrace that discomfort so that you can keep going. And now we just learned something, didn't we? Let's go on.
Namaced any chance you get. You need to stumble your way through mispronunciations of it and awkwardly using it in social situations where it doesn't actually fit. Namis, namaste, namaste, namasti, namasta, namasta, namaste. Hold eye contact for awkward lengths of time. You'll call it intimate. Everyone else will call it intimidating.
Creep.
Deny your pain. If you're
That was my ex-girlfriend, Deanna. Great person.
going to be ultra spiritual, then you need to believe that being a human being and having these things called human feelings has nothing to do with a spiritual experience. You're breaking up with me? You've been sleeping with my best friend. No, I'm not hurt. It's all part of the perfection. It's all love. It is what it is. Use an exaggeratedly light tone of voice when you are talking to other ultra.
That makes sense why I sound so stupid in this video. I was trying to personify that the whole time using an exaggerated light tone of voice. Still, I don't think it was a good performance, but I'm so grateful I let myself do it.
Spiritual people. This is kind of like showing your ID to get into a bar. It proves that you belong. It's all love. You just gotta follow your bliss. Do copious amounts of yoga, even though you have no idea why aggressively stretching your body and wearing $100 Lululemon pants relates to your spirituality. This one's good. I feel this one in my spirit. That's effective. It makes my hamstrings feel like they're tearing, which is helpful because I think hamstring is the French word for kundalini, which means this is making my kundalini more muscular. Reclassify all the ways you're irresponsible under the new heading, I'm a free spirit. Aggressively defend your position statement like you're an angel defending getting its wings cut off. A job? I don't have a job. I want to be free, brother. Can I borrow a couple bucks? Seriously, I haven't eaten for like 3 days. Please, be my abundance, man. In here they say that if you subscribe to JP's YouTube channel, you'll become fully enlightened. So you might want to do that.
Dun dun dun. So that's the first pure comedy video I made, coming up on the 8-year anniversary of it. And, you know, I pointed out like a few cringes I have, which make no mistake about it. That's, I love what I watch. I love, like, I look at something my son might create, like a really crappy looking drawing, and I would love that he did that. So I love that I allow myself to do it, and all the great things that I have in the world today with how I get to have so much fulfillment expressing my perspectives to beautiful, freedom-loving weirdos like yourself. I wouldn't have this if that younger version of myself didn't start this thing that he didn't know how to do. Let me make a comedy video. So I'll share with you real quick how that video actually blew up in sort of like devious ways. But before I do, I'll share, at the time, I thought it would be a bad idea for me to make that video. Why? Because my career was doing like life coaching, helping people do emotional healing work for themselves, doing some health coaching with that. And I'd always been like young to be a life coach. So I would kind of put on a sort of an act, if you will, of acting older than I actually am. So I thought, well, dude, letting my natural humor out, that would discredit me as a life coach. Like I'd look immature. You know, a coach, I'm supposed to be serious. So for a little while, I had the video idea, but I kept like not doing it, thinking it'd be a bad idea. But then just like a woman going into labor, it's like, all right, this idea is going to be born. I can fight it, but it's coming. So I decided I'll make it a video. I'll just do one video. It'll be stupid. Don't even know how to edit movies. I like Googled like how to edit on iMovie as I was trying to edit it. But the cool thing was that I didn't expect it. It awoken a creative satisfaction I had never known before. because I was 33 when I made this. I didn't have any level of creative outlet before in any kind of art scene, like never into painting, music, dancing. But this was like the first time I had that pure creative expression, and I loved it. I love that. If you've ever created something in an artistic way, you know what I'm talking about. Like there's a fulfillment that nothing else really taps in. It's like a compartment that only creativity can fill, expressing the creativity. So I love that. But then, I put this on my YouTube channel and it got like a few hundred views in a couple weeks, which at the time I was just doing like life advice, life coaching videos. Really boring, sincere, serious, but hopefully beneficial videos. And those videos would get tens of views sometimes. So I uploaded this video and I had a few hundred views in the first couple weeks. I'm like, damn, it's doing pretty good. But then here's the devious part. A few Facebook pages pirated the video off my YouTube channel and uploaded it to their Facebook pages. And at the time, I didn't put it on my Facebook page because Facebook video was really new. It wasn't something that you just did. It was like super new. Video was unusual on Facebook back then. But the video blew up on their Facebook pages. Some of them got millions of views. I think one of them got like 20 million views. And the cool thing is they tagged me, and so people would know like, oh, that's JP Sears, who the hell is that? But he made that video, I liked it, so they looked me up. And so I started getting more and more audience because of these people that, without my permission, took the video off my channel and put it on their pages. I'm grateful they did that. And in having that external validation, as codependent as that is, that helped encourage me to make another comedy video. Because I had that creative satisfaction. That was cool. But that combined with like, oh, and a lot of other people like that video. Okay. That was good encouragement for me to, a few weeks later, have this amazing idea, which was maybe I could make another video. So I made another video. But the whole time, before I put this first one up, and then for a while afterwards, I had no plan, no vision that this would ever become a big thing, let alone something that's transformed my life, where now my career has been based off of making videos. Never had any plan for that. It was all a happy accident that luckily I had the courage to allow myself to keep walking into, keep Forrest Gumping my way along, because it was really enjoyable. So I love the serendipity of it. I love that I didn't have a plan for it. I love that I look back at this first video and be like, dude, I like the content of it, but I don't like the video. It's kind of crappy, but I love that I made the video. So I don't know if you've ever seen this first video of mine, because it was uploaded a long time ago and it was of a completely different external subject matter. But again, it's like, yeah, my content's changed, but how I do my content, there's still that core ethos of using satire to call out lies, hypocrisy, Biden impression, and corruption. So I love that. I love how that's like a golden thread still in my work. This has been the most narcissistic video I've ever put up, where I'm literally just talking about myself. But I hope you've enjoyed this trip down memory lane. I haven't done a video review on my first video ever, and very rarely do I have opportunities to talk about it. So I hope you've enjoyed this little historical trip and a little bit of the backstory, because this video set the stage for everything else that I get to do now. So hope you've enjoyed the history lesson. Tune in next time where we'll talk about something else. In the meantime, stay free, my friend.